Well, hello there. My name is Mark Miles, and as all of you know, I love helping trainers, presenters, facilitators really take their game to the next level, whatever that may be for them. But today, in today's topic, I just want to talk about the topic of personality styles. Personality styles. Now, as people come to your seminar or your workshop or your training facilitation, whatever it may be, they are going to show up with lots of different behaviors. And I've discovered over 9.5 years of presenting now that there are typically different groups of behaviors that people can demonstrate. And ultimately, we can actually categorize that based on personality types. Now, you're going to have come across probably lots of different personality, tools or quizzes or different ways that you can understand people's personalities. And the model that I want to share with you today is a very short, very brief one, but a very powerful one that you can use as a trainer and facilitator to really understand your audiences even better and be able to get more, juice and value out of the learning experience for yourself and also for your learners, right? And ultimately, we need to be able to create a workshop that works. I'll say it again, we need to create a workshop that works. And we need to be able to work with people's personalities, not against them, okay? So if you're ready, grab a pen and write and get ready to write, because I'm gonna go through a very simple model that you can use to identify what categories each of your participants may fall into. And as a result of knowing that, you'll be able to better execute and facilitate your workshops because you'll be able to pair people up better. You'll be able to see behavior and not get judgmental about it. You won't take it personally. You'll be able to use your time even more efficiently. And last of all, you'll be able to predict people's behavior, which is really cool, right? So this model is really, really, simplistic in nature. And I've taken this model and I've created this based on other models that I've seen out there, and I've blended it all together for a very specific context of training and facilitation, okay? So this model is called the PART model. So P-A-R-T. P-A-R-T. So each of the letters there stand for a particular type of learner, so to speak. Now, just because I say that someone's one of these, it doesn't mean that they aren't a combination of them as well. So you yourself are going to be certainly a combination of these different types, and you're going to have what I say is just more energy of one of them than the other. Okay. Now, as I go through these descriptions, you may be able to identify yourself and definitely identify other people around you. Okay. So it was P-A-R-N-T. Okay. So the P stands for pragmatist. All right. So if you're writing these down, P stands for pragmatist. A stands for activist. R stands for reflector. And T stands for theorist. Okay. Now, again, this is not a model that you're going to find anywhere in particular, other than you will find it with the Honey and Mumford model, but I've kind of adjusted it a little bit to really represent the contemporary, learner, so to speak. All right. So again, we got pragmatist, activist, reflector, and theorist. Now, the P, pragmatist. Now, the pragmatist is somebody that likes to jump in, have a go, and doesn't worry about accuracy too much, okay? So the pragmatist is someone that likes to hear something and then just go in and have a go and get it done, okay? Now, an activist is somebody that likes to test the boundary conditions of the learning environment. Now, the activist is somebody that might ask lots of questions. They might like to test your knowledge. They might like to test the credibility of what you're presenting and whether it's true or not, whether it's been well researched, and they might offer up an opposing opinion, so to speak. Now, an R is a reflector. Now, a reflector is somebody that likes to sit back and watch other people do it before they are willing to have a go. Now, a reflector needs time to process, they need time to reflect, and they need time to feel comfortable before they're going to step out of their comfort zone, so to speak. Very different to a pragmatist. Now, a theorist is somebody that likes to really get the details correct. They love to get all the details correct, and they need to know the research, the facts, the figures, and all the data. Okay, they're very detail orientated. So just to recap, we've got a pragmatist, an activist, a reflector, and a theorist. Now, how do each of these people show up? Well, the pragmatist in a learning environment is somebody they'll hear the task and they'll jump in, want to do it, and they will want to be the volunteers in the task, right? They'll volunteer in the activity, and they will seem like very eager learners, so to speak. And that's really cool. And we want to use our pragmatists as our demo subjects or as our volunteers, right? We don't want to run from it. Let's just use our pragmatists. Now, our activists, again, as I said, they may be the ones that question things. They may want to know the facts, the figures, and how did you come up with all this information? Where does it come from? Now, they are the kind of people that will be the kind of people that we want to use for class discussions, class debates, and maybe we want to use them as an asset or an ally as we teach as well. And we shouldn't be surprised if an activist is asking questions and challenging what we say. Everyone is perfect and beautiful, and everyone has their own role to play, is the way I like to say it. Everyone is perfect and beautiful, and everyone has their role to play. Now, a reflector, as I said, is somebody that needs to have time to process information, and they need to be able to watch other people go ahead before they feel willing to have a go, so to speak. Now, reflector, they love case studies, they love research tasks, they love to, be in their own space and learn. They love to reflect. So you definitely want to include lots of reflection activities or reflection opportunities for those reflectors and for everyone, of course. Now, a theorist, as I said, loves the facts and figures and all the data, and they may be the people that read through the information you provide, and they may even find mistakes. They may find typos. They may find further things that could be researched and developed. And as I said, everyone is perfect and beautiful, and everyone has their role to play. Now, within a learning environment, though, what we need to appreciate is all these different combinations of people will react and play, demonstrate behavior. And as a result, it can impact how people learn or how you run your sessions. So what we need to think about, though, is if we are pairing people up in terms of activities, we may find different things happen, right? So, for example, if you put two pragmatists together in a learning activity or a task together, you may find that they butt heads, so to speak, because they both want to take the lead and they both want to get in there and just do it. Now, if you put two activists together, they're going to maybe have a little bit of a debate, maybe a little bit creative a discussion, right? Because they will want to make sure that they are getting it right or doing it right and being right, okay? And so they may debate it a little bit, and they may even debate the validity of the task that you even give them. Now, a reflector, if you put two reflectors together, you will find that they'll be very quiet, they'll be a little bit hesitant, and neither of them will want to take the initiative, so to speak. Then you've got the theorists. If you put two theorists together, again, it may be a little bit of a clunky situation because neither of them will want to take the initiative. They'll be very concerned about getting it right. Okay, so ideally, when you are putting people together for activities in group activities, you do ideally, it's not always possible, but ideally put different combinations of personalities together so that they can work optimally. Okay, now we're going to what is the perfect combination, so to speak. You will definitely be able to realize that and discover that over time. Now, there is so much more to this model. And as I said, everyone's perfect and beautiful and everyone has the right role to play. If you were doing a project out in society and say you're building a bridge, you certainly want the pragmatist out there just digging the holes and building the construction side of things. You want the activist who's out there at the local council who's arguing for the need for the bridge, right? And the reflector, that's the person that's going to go out there and benchmark bridges and do research into the bridges, right? But then you want the theorist who's actually doing the architectural design of the bridge. So everyone has their role to play. But how someone shows up in a learning environment can become quite predictable when you can start to see the attributes and where they may fall into the part model, so to speak. So we got pragmatist, activist, reflector, and theorist. Now, when I understood this model, a couple of things happened. I no longer took things personally, and I no longer judged people for how they showed up because I realized everyone was perfect and beautiful and everyone had their role to play. But I also stopped getting upset at reflectors for not getting involved. And I no longer jumped on people for behaving in a way that wasn't appropriate for how I like people to behave. And what we often find is that the behavior or the type that irritates us the most is the opposite of who we are. Okay. Now, a reflector, they need time to process information. And in the past, I might have gone to a learner or a participant in an audience and go, wow, this person really isn't participating. But what I didn't realize was that this person was a reflector and they needed time to process information. And once I realized that, I became more consciously aware of it. And you will be able to identify a reflector pretty quickly if you ever ask them a question and they say, oh, I need more time. Can you come back to me? Or I'm blank. I can't think of anything, right? You always want to pick on your reflectors last. You always want to go to your pragmatists straight away if you're calling on audience members, okay? So everyone's perfect and beautiful and everyone has their role to play. And we never ever want to take things personally. We want to use our theorists to find out the facts, figures, and data and dive deep into the information, give them some research tasks. That's really cool. They love it, right? The reflectors, they love case studies. They love to sit back, think, and reflect. That's a big part of what they need. The activists, they love to challenge things and they love to see, well, can the information be seen or used in a different manner? And the pragmatists, well, they just love to get in there and have a go. But sometimes those pragmatists need a little bit of coaching on getting things right and being accurate and following the rules, so to speak. All right. So hopefully this video was helpful for you. And again, it's not the only model, but I found that this model is really powerful whenever you are delivering training. If you want further information on it, feel free to put a comment or connect with me, but it is a really simple model that you can implement. And I recommend that you definitely write the types down and have it with you whenever you are presenting, because you'll start to notice people and how they demonstrate their behaviors and go, all right, cool, this is who they are maybe in this moment. And maybe if I pair them up with a different combination, I may get even better results when they're doing learning activities. On that note, hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching.